Okay, guys, so Dave here with Affordable Door and Gate. Tonight, it's about 7 o'clock. It's almost bedtime. But anyways, we are going to learn some things about low headroom track. What is low headroom track? Let me show you. Come in here. Let's take a look at this door. Let me spin around for you. So really what we're doing is I'm going to start taking dimensions off these low headroom doors because we're running into a problem that the suppliers are taking too stinking long. So I'm going to start building the stuff. So I got a customer that needs low headroom track, which we're going to be out there tomorrow. So tonight I'm just going to take all the dimensions. I'm not going to bore you with that. But as you can see, low headroom track, the biggest thing up here is it has two pieces of track that run along to make that top panel break. Now, if you're a garage door installer, you know what I'm talking about. There is a difference though. Wayne Dalton's the only one that I know of that does 3-inch low headroom track. I don't have any. I wish I had some. We're going to get some on order. And this is 6-inch. And I'm going to tell you some more about it probably tomorrow. But tonight, I'm just here getting some dimensions so I can scale off of it. We're going to be doing a 16x7. This is like this was an odd door. Oddly enough, this door was ordered wrong by the old secretary. It was a totally wrong order. And for whatever reason, I just made them fit because they were basically, well, I mean, we paid for them, but they were free. And we had nobody else that needed a home. There's some odd size, I forget what it is, 9.6 or something by 10 with, and they already came with low headroom. She ordered it wrong. It was one of those things she didn't know the whole, it's normally width and height, it was just, and she wasn't green. She just didn't slow down and think about it. So anyways, it's going to be enough probably for tonight. You're going to see me. We'll see you tomorrow morning, and then we'll go from there and you'll see the job and we'll get her done. All right. Good morning, you guys. So we are getting ready to pull up on location for this low headroom conversion basically. And I'm going to explain to you why sometimes you got to have low headroom and some of the functions of low headroom. And you're going to see at this job, you're going to see why you're going to go, oh my goodness. And it's just a matter of not knowing, kind of what you're doing. And there's a lot of other things that play into factor. I want you to look, when you look at the roof line, first thing I seen, I went, oh boy. And I think a lot of people sometimes build garages and they never think about the garage door, right? They just build the garage and go, oh, it's high enough for my car or whatever, but they don't think about the fact that they need track and how things move and the headroom, you know what I mean? They're a builder, they're not a garage door person. So you'll see when we pull in here what we got. All right, you see the first thing? Look at that roof line right there in the corner. Right there. Look at that roof. So you know the rafters that are running across are going to be pretty tight. Let's take a look inside. I've seen some pretty ingenious things, but this one takes the cake for a pull cord on a garage door. As you can hear right away, I can't even pull the door down. Right away though, you can hear the squealing. That's a good indication that it's a Menards door. Look at that. You guys seeing that? Holy moly. Some dissecting happened here, huh? Let's get the door down. So one thing I want to show you is that when this door comes up, it actually smashes into this rail of this opener. This beam's actually even lower. So it's all a real low situation there. So a lot of combinations, with the man door being here, they could have scooted the door over. The door is obviously, you can see the distance here to over here. If they would have moved the door over, that would have helped them some, but it wouldn't have been all of it. And you can see they oh, my normal subscribers. Oh, please comment. Oh boy, what do you think of that, boys? Ouch.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. I think that's the most severe. Oh, they got they got a chunk of wood there. That should help. Oh, you know. And I'm not bashing. It's just people just don't know. And I want you to be educated. I want you to learn, you know, and I want you to see. So you know what kind of needs to happen. So, and this could be a video that you could send to a customer, a video that, you know, my customers can see that this is why you have to have low headroom, because this is what happens, you know, if you don't have low headroom. And sometimes you just need to call a professional. I know this particular customer had this, the husband, which is no longer around, is he installed it on the weekend, I think, with another guy. So he just went to a local lumberyard store and, you know, just saw, hey, I need a door, you know, and all doors are not created equal. So, yeah. So my game plan is going to be, I think I'm going to strut some of the door to help salvage the door. The door has just a teeny little rip at the top. Obviously I'm getting rid of the spring system. This is nothing but no good. And then we're going to put low headroom track, and we're going to hope we can make everything merry. If I can save the opener, I'm going to save the opener. I did bring another opener just in case. I like those Genie screwdrivers. They're a little more potent. You know, they just don't have that jerk to them. They're a little more stout for what I might need here. So we'll see. Let's get started. So you might ask yourself, well, why do I need low headroom track? You know, what determines that? If you ever want to help a garage door person out, typically what I always say is find the lowest point where your garage really travels, in a sense. So for instance, what I would do is I would take this beam. This beam looks like it's the lowest point. You know, I've even taken light bulbs, you know, and measured off those. But I would take the beam and I would get a floor to ceiling. So measure from the floor. I consider the rafter there the ceiling. So that's what I would measure to tell somebody if you had to measure a garage door, because you think you might need low clearance track. Now this is I've done it. It's not, but the problems with, if you use these brackets, the biggest problem is you always jeopardize the strut. Now this is a really, really cheap strut. This is the one that came from the lumber box store there, Menards. And they cheated, you know, they had, I mean, they didn't cheat, they just did what they thought they had to do. But that right there, that one cut, basically destroys the integrity of this strut. You might as well just get rid of it almost, you know what I mean? Because you need that strength from side to side to help secure this, because garage doors aren't really that strong. You know, when this opener's pulling on it, it's pulling this section, and it's not strong that way. It's strong straight up, but it's not strong bowing it in. So this is what, you know, you run into. And they use these quick turn brackets to try to cheat to get the door to flatten out. But that's where this double track will really, really help, you know. And a lot of people get confused on, you know, when I tell them the double track at the top, it's basically this. It's to get that top panel to flip. You need the two tracks like that, and you'll see when I get together. I'll show you. But boy, look at all this stuff. I mean, I'm not going to use all of it, but a lot of stuff, you know, tools, ladders, struts. You know, this is a lot of extra material. And now it's got to be reworked too, in a sense. So it's kind of a bummer, but we'll get it right. We'll make it right for them. So definitely really struggling with getting this out of here. Look how tight this is to the roof. It's super tight. Hopefully the next setup won't be that tight. So I'm going to do a little trick that I learned from my Mexican friend down in Arizona. Flat screwdriver. I'm going to pound it into the header, and that way it'll keep the top panel from flipping down, because I got to take this track down. Bam. And obviously you got to use this with common sense. If it was a super windy day, obviously you got to do certain things. But today, not windy, beautiful day out. This will work for right now. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we actually gotta cut down our vertical track. So the vertical track needs to come down. So I did the math from the garage door last night that you've seen, the one at the shop. The conversion comes to 69 inches. So we gotta make it 69 inches to the top. And so what I got here, I'll show you. I'm gonna hook. Actually, I'm just gonna drop it to the bottom of the, but right there. You can see we're at 69. And you can see the mark on the back side there. Yep, that's where I'm gonna cut it. And I'm going to drop this whole assembly right here down. So it's gonna be, this will be actually right there, will be the top of that black mark is the top of my track like it is up here. So that's what I gotta cut down, and then we'll get our track mounted, and we should have enough clearance. It should make it work. So for low headroom. Now, I would have happily wore my safety glasses, but they're outside, and guess what this man door goes to? Nothing. It goes to a snowbank. So I can't get out to my truck to get my safety glasses. I should have had my safety glasses. Ah, I gotta wait. But if you see right here, I'm gonna drill my holes. Swing it around here. Yep. I'm gonna drill my holes, and this bracket up here is gonna go down. Yep, that bracket. But I think when you're using a big tapper, you gotta let it spin, so it hogs it out. There we go. We got ourselves a couple holes. I did it.
Just 1 inch taller, and it would have been a lot easier for you.
Yeah, look at this bad boy, huh? Doo-dah.
We're gonna do some sketchy. Doo-dah, doo-dah, we're gonna do some sketchy. Doo-dah, doo-dah, day. We do not own the rights to that under any circumstances.
But it does kind of feel like we're doing some sketchy stuff. So we got the track. It was a little bit long. It was for 8 foot probably is my assumption. And so I ended up, basically just taking the saws off and cutting it off. So that's dual track for you right there. And that's what we're going to get up in the sky like we have over here. This one's, the right side's already mounted. So we're making progress. It's just right now we're stuck in this corner, and this corner is tight. And so you can kind of see we got some stuff in the way. Normal stuff for a garage door guy. But we're making headway. Okay, so basically the top panel, you can see it's got a little damage, and if you go on top, you'll see there's a little bit of a crack. You see that split? There's a split up there. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually put on a good strut, which is one of these U-shaped struts across the whole entire thing. And now you can see that with those brackets on there, you want to show them up close a little bit. With those brackets up there, the strut can actually go over it now, which I'll demonstrate here. So now we can go over that bracket right there and actually get the strut to go across the whole top of the door, which will give a lot of strength. Let's show them a wide view of me here, Danny. So you can see this will go across the whole top here, and that'll give the door a lot more strength. I might do one every section, haven't determined that yet, but the door needs the help. Plus, I got this really sweet
operator bracket. That's going to go on there. That's going to give this thing a lot more strength. Instead of what the customer had before, it was just through bolted. So this will be a lot better. Okay, so we got the strut on, got the operator bracket, strut to help reinforce it. A little tricky getting in between our brackets, but you can see how it spans. If you come up and take a look, you can see how it spans. A nice close visual for your customers or whoever would be watching this to understand what's going on. There you go. Now you can see how the strut runs along. We got that nice beefy operator bracket in there. And see how that strut spans side to side. And bam, just like that. So we're going to work on getting the spring up next. So this will be our guy down here on the ground. This is what's going up next. The little spring assembly. We're going to try some 225s, see how that works, since I'm going to put some struts on this thing. And we're going to go from there. So we'll see you in a minute. As you can see, we got struts on the whole door. I think we're going to be able to save this old girl. The springs will be the next challenge to see if I got the right ones or I got to drop down to some 218s. We'll see if the 225s, how they work. We should be looking good. 6.6. All right, guys, we got her done. It runs actually sweet. I mean, it's for what it is. We saved the customer. You know, we really saved the door. We saved the customer money. We saved them from waiting 8 months because right now with the, you know, cough going on, it's like 8 months to get low headroom track. Ridiculous. I'm going to start building the stuff myself. But as you can see, we went with the 225s, pair of springs. The pair of springs always work together in conjunction, so it doesn't push one way or the other. Works great. We got our low headroom track here, the 6-inch, just scraped by. Let me open it for you, and we can take a peek at this thing. It's running really smooth. I ended up putting them a couple Genie light bulbs in here, so we got matching lights. I originally had the intent of replacing the opener, but the opener's running good enough that'll save them you know, quite a bit of chunk of change. So you can see here in the top panel, it's not pretty, but I tell you what, this operator bracket and this strut work miracles. So everything's working really good. It's running smooth. I've probably ran it about 20 times since we've been here. And it's working great. It's going up and down really good. I think the customer will be really pleased. She didn't have to wait basically a year. And so look at it. I mean, it's got obviously issues in the bottom, but she didn't really care about that. She's worried about pulling in, parking her car, keeping it out of the elements, the snow, the rain. And so this will work really good. We got that corners up there tucked up real good. It's just, I'm really surprised how it turned out. It turned out really good. So we had the right stuff for the right man to do the right job. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hope this is helpful on low headroom track. Like I said, we had to do what, 69 inches, I think was our vertical up on a 7-foot tall door. So I'm going to write a little note for myself so I can use that. Once I get some 3-inch in my hands, I'm going to start messing with some 3-inch too. I'll do a video on that just so we know, because we're going to have to start making some of this stuff. We have to turn into craftsmen. We have to be experts. So we're just going to have to evolve. Otherwise, we're just going to perish. So anywho, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. Become a subscriber. Comment below. Tell me what you think about over here. Have you seen worse? Have you seen better? I always put my email. You could always email me some pictures too if you ever get something that's real crazy. But I mean, look at this. This thing was chopped. This thing was chopped up over here. So anywho, we'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Hey, all right, thank you for making it to the end. I know it's a little bit longer of a video, but I want to get the demonstration out there for low headroom track. One thing I want to note in this video, so if somebody gets their hands on 3-inch low headroom, I'm going to state this in the next video when I make the 3-inch low headroom track video.
is that when you do 3-inch low headroom, I've noticed that the door becomes lower in the opening. So if you have a truck or an SUV that you're really concerned about it making it through that header, that 3-inch low headroom somehow can actually bring that door down maybe an inch or two, possibly I'd say maybe 3. I don't know about 3, but it's the way the radius goes that it'll actually lower that door down in that jam. So between 6-inch and 3-inch low headroom, you always have to make the determination if you're going to the vehicle clearance. Now, if it's a little old lady and she's driving a car and that's all she's ever going to drive, then you're golden. But if you got a guy that's really persistent about he wants to fit his truck in there and he just bought the house, you got to watch that 3-inch low headroom, because it will lower that whole door when it's in the up position in the jam, when it's just up, it'll bring it down. I don't know why it does that, but it does do that. So that's one thing I keep psychologically in my head, that when I go 3-inch, if that's my worst case scenario, that I always pay attention that you got to watch what vehicle's going in there, because if they're trying to squeeze every half an inch, it ain't going to happen. You're just going to have to walk away. Now, I do know the secretary sent me something about some 0-inch headroom track. I have not entertained that yet. I'm more than happy to. But between 6-inch and 3-inch, 6-inch will keep the door out of the hole. So if you're worried about a vehicle and you know you can get it through the header, 6-inch will be fine. It'll keep the door just above that header in the up position. You'll be fine. So I just wanted to note that, because that might be something that if you're new or green, you might not know that, and you can get into trouble. So I've done it. I've been there. So learn from my mistakes. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys.